Twisting. This is a true story that I heard from my younger brother. It is the real experience of his friend, Akun. When Akun was a child, he went to visit his mother and brother's hometown. The weather was nice, and the fields were lush and green. Despite the beautiful weather, neither of them felt like playing outside, so they played inside the house. Suddenly, Akun's brother stood up and went to the window. Akun followed him to the window. Following his brother's gaze, he saw a person. A person dressed in all white. It was hard to tell if it was a man or a woman from that distance, was standing alone. They wondered what that person was doing there and continued watching. The person in white started moving in a wavy, wriggling manner. For a moment, Akun thought they might be dancing, but then the person began bending their body in unnatural directions. The way their joints moved was inhuman. Wriggle, wriggle, wriggle. Akun felt uneasy and spoke to his brother. "Hey, what is that? Can you see it?" His brother replied, "I don't know." But right after saying that, his brother seemed to realize what the white figure was. "Do you know what it is? Tell me," Akun asked, but his brother said, "I know, but it's better if you don't." What was that figure? Akun still doesn't know to this day. I suggested to my brother, why doesn't Akun ask his brother again? This story leaves me with an uneasy feeling too. Then my brother told me, Akun's brother has since developed an intellectual disability, a Running Man, a video with nothing but the title written on its rather unique packaging. Oh well, it's only 100 yen and it'll kill some time. A thought as he took the video home and immediately started watching it. Without any opening title, the screen showed a skinny man in tattered clothes like a homeless person, running. What's that in his hand? A saw. Why is he holding a saw? Despite running at full speed, the man didn't seem to get tired, didn't even sweat, and showed no signs of slowing down. Wait a minute, isn't he running down a familiar road? I started to feel uneasy. A bad feeling crept over him. Isn't that if he turns this corner? His uneasy feeling turned to certainty with the next scene. Yes, he was right. The man was heading towards A's house. By the time I realized this, the man was already in front of his house. The camera had somehow switched to the man's point of view, showing the second floor of the old apartment where A lived. Rushing to the balcony to look outside, I saw the man. Without hesitation, the man started sawing at one of the balcony pillars. Confused, I yelled, "Hey, what are you doing? Stop it!" The man looked up at A. Gasped. The man had eyes like a chameleon, one looking in each direction, and he grinned, exposing rotten teeth. As the man disappeared from view, A heard footsteps running up the stairs. "Oh no, he's coming here!" A rush to lock the door, but the man was already there, cornering him in the living room with the saw raised. In a panic, A grabbed the remote and hit the stop button. In that instant, the man disappeared. The saw was gone too. A immediately ejected the tape from the VCR and threw it in the trash. The pillar on A's balcony bore deep saw marks. Mass suicide. This story is prefaced by the claim that it was actually reported in a newspaper, but I haven't seen the newspaper myself and don't know how many years ago it was, so please consider this as a spooky twist added to the story. A group of 8 high school students, 4 boys and 4 girls, gathered at one of their houses to share scary stories. As the night grew late, they decided to go on a courage test. However, the real excitement was the chance to pair up boys and girls, so they chose their own high school as the destination for convenience. The school, nearly 100 years old, looked more intimidating than they had anticipated. They decided to pair up and take turns walking around the school building. Since they couldn't enter the premises, walking around the perimeter would take at most 20 minutes. The first pair set off, with everyone teasing and making fun of them as they left. But even after 20, then 30 minutes, they didn't return. Teasingly speculating about what the pair might be doing alone, the second pair set off, but they too failed to return. The third pair, growing increasingly serious, promised to come back and to bring the others if they found them. Yet they also did not return. By now, over 2 hours had passed since the first pair had left. One of the girls started crying. The last remaining boy declared, "I'll go. If I don't come back in 30 minutes, go to the police. Do not wait any longer." He then ran off. He too did not return. The remaining girl waited an hour, crying, before heading to the police. Despite the police search, the students were not found until dawn. The school's old gymnasium, located at the edge of the grounds, had a restroom where all 7 missing students were found hanging. According to the girl, they had no reason to commit suicide, but since there were no signs of foul play, the incident was dismissed as mass hysteria among students preparing for exams. There had never been any notable ghost stories associated with that school.